Uh, you know the drill. You walk into a conference room or a lecture hall and immediately do the socket safari.
Oh, yeah. Scanning the baseboard.
Right. Looking under tables, hunting for that one open outlet because your laptop is hovering at like 15%.
It really is the modern hierarchy of needs. Wi-Fi, coffee, and a power outlet. And usually that room wasn't built for 20 people who all need to plug in at once.
Exactly. And that is the specific headache we're unpacking in today's deep dive. We're looking at a piece of hardware from Kramer, the MegaEdge WW.
Yep. The goal here is to explore how this specific device bridges that gap between mobile tech and stationary infrastructure, and doing it without requiring expensive building rewiring.
Right, because looking at the sources we have, calling this a portable charger feels like a massive understatement.
It totally is. I mean, if you think of a standard power bank you throw in a backpack, this is not that. This is infrastructure. It's a heavy-duty clamp-on power station made of aluminum and steel.
Yeah, it's meant to turn a regular table into a powered workstation. But it was the capacity that caught my eye. 80,000 milliamp hours.
It's a beast.
For context for you listening, a decent phone power bank is maybe 10 or 20,000. So we are talking about a massive amount of lithium just sitting on a desk.
We really are. In real-world terms, that 80,000 translates to charging a standard smartphone about 35 times, or to charge a tablet 10 times.
Wow.
But more relevant to the BYOD use case, it keeps a laptop running for 3 to 4 full charge cycles.
So it actually survives a full workday or a full day of classes without breaking a sweat.
Easily. And it supports multiple users at once. You've got 2 USB Type-A ports, 1 USB Type-C, and 2 AC power sockets.
So you and I could both be plugged in, charging laptops and phones simultaneously. Which actually brings me to the safety side of things.
Right.
Because having a battery that size in a public space, my first thought isn't convenience, it's fire hazard. If that thing short circuits, it's a huge problem.
It's a very legitimate worry. But Kramer put a microprocessor in charge of the whole system. It's actively monitoring for overcurrent, short circuits, and overheating.
So if it senses a spike?
It just shuts down. Exactly. It also features an automatic idle shutdown, so if no one is plugged in, it turns itself off to preserve the charge.
That's smart. But this is another kind of security I'm thinking about. If you're a facility manager at a university and you put a $1,500 gadget on a table,
it walks away.
Right out the door.
They actually anticipated that. It uses specific Torx security screws for the clamp. You need a specialized bit to remove it. It's meant to be a permanent fixture on a temporary table.
Okay, so it's tough, it's smart, and it's locked down. But we need to look at the fine print because you pointed out a specific line in the specs that looks like a deal breaker for certain equipment.
Yeah, this is the big gotcha. The AC sockets on this unit are 2-pin only.
Meaning no ground pin?
Correct. So it's explicitly not suitable for devices requiring a 3-pin grounded plug. If you flip over your standard laptop charger, it's probably fine. Most modern bricks are double insulated.
Right, they don't need the ground.
But if you try to plug in a heavy-duty workstation or maybe an older projector that requires that third pin, it literally will not fit.
That is a really crucial distinction to make. And looking at the power output, the continuous AC output is 200 watts with a max of 250.
Right.
But it's using a modified sine wave.
Yeah.
For the non-engineers listening, that means the AC power isn't a smooth wave like you get from the wall. It's blocky.
Exactly. For charging a battery, that doesn't matter at all. But if you plug in sensitive audio equipment, you might hear a buzz. It's not clean power for analog gear. It is strictly for charging.
Let's talk about the price context here. I'm seeing a discounted rate right now of around $1,560 for a battery.
It sounds incredibly steep until you compare it to the alternative. If you want power at a conference table in the middle of a room, you have to core drill the concrete floor and run conduit.
Which costs thousands.
And shuts the room down for days. This is an institutional investment. You're paying for the flexibility of not destroying your floor.
It totally decouples the power from the building, which really emphasizes this idea of learning freedom and flexibility, right? Turning literally any table into a powered workstation.
That's exactly it.
Which makes me wonder where this goes next. If battery density keeps improving, are we looking at the end of wiring classrooms and offices for floor outlets entirely?
We might be. We could easily reach a point where furniture is completely grid independent. You charge the desk at night, and it runs the room during the day.
A truly wireless world. Something to tune on the next time you're crawling under a table looking for a plug. Stay curious about the hidden infrastructure powering your life, and thanks for joining us on this deep dive.